But I'm the only candidate in this race who is up to the task of saving America, and I'm the only candidate that will say with great, I can say it from any standpoint you want, as definitive as you want to make it, we will not have World War III with me as your president. And we're going to do it through strength. We're going to do it through strength. Thank you. We're going to do it through strength. You know, you can do things, you don't even have to go there. You can do things with telephones that are quite effective if you know how to use a telephone properly, if you know how to speak, that are very effective. Sometimes it's better because it's easier to talk over a phone than to tell some of the things I say to these guys face to face. It's easier for me to just say, you know, you son of a... I was telling yesterday at one of the big meetings, I love these, you know, we go to different corners of your state, and we meet with such great people, and then we're going to do a rally sometime in I guess in the summer, a big one. We're going to pick a big beautiful site, maybe the State Fair or something. But we're going to do a big rally. But I have such fun with it. But you know, I tell them that some of the deals we made were so incredible. For instance, Mexico, they supplied us with 28,000 soldiers. They supplied us with. We said. Remain in Mexico. You think that's easy? And this guy gave it up. Remain in Mexico. They were remaining in our country. In other words, they come in, we leave them in. I said, no, I don't want them in our country until they get approved, because they're from mental institutions, they're drug dealers, they're criminals from jails. We have people coming into our country now that we've never allowed people like this into our country, and we don't do anything about it. But Mexico said, no, we're not going to give you soldiers. I said, yes, you are. Yes, you are. No, no, sir, we will not do that. We will not do it. And I like the president of Mexico a lot. I think he's great. He's a socialist. But you can't have everything, right? Tell those kids, can't get everything. But he and I have a great relationship. But I said, listen, you have to do it. Anyway, he sent his representative, a handsome guy, to see me in Washington, and I was meeting with him. And I had from the State Department a woman who handled Mexico, a very nice woman, but not a good negotiator, frankly. She said, sir, I've been trying to get this for 21 years. They'll never do it. I said, well, I'm going to get it. So I asked Tom Homan. I asked a couple of the top people, really great people in Border Patrol. We have phenomenal people in ICE and Border Patrol. They're not appreciated like they should be. They're incredible. They're incredible. Brad, we have, yeah. Brandon Judd is fantastic. I know so many of those guys are so fantastic. They want to do their job. You know, it's funny. It'd be a lot easier just to do what they do. Just let them come in. Let them come in. They're not doing anything. They're doing paperwork now. They have them sitting, and people are just flowing in by the millions. They have now a caravan. I came up with that name. They won't say that, by the way. The fake news is back there. You got a lot of fake news back there. That's a lot of fake news. But the caravan, we have a caravan, the biggest one we've ever seen. Thousands and thousands of people just pouring right into our country. It is so sick and so sad. What's happening to our country is so sad. But I said to the gentleman comes up, great representative, I said, we need 28,000 soldiers for our border. No, I'm not going to do that, sir. And I said, you are? You 100%? No, I'm not. He was confused because I kept telling him he was going to do it. Nobody had ever told him that before. He said, no, we won't do that, sir. I have no authorization to do that. I said, then you'll get it quickly, but you're going to do it 100%. He said, no, I'm not going to do it, sir. I said, you're going to do it. And also, I want it to be remain in Mexico. In other words, we want a policy called remain in Mexico, not remain in the United States, and then nothing ever happens. And then we want another one, catch and release in Mexico. You know, we catch and release criminals, and we have them released into the United States and come back for your court case in 4 years. And only very, very stupid people come back because there is no court case, you know. There's no court case. So it's catch and release in Mexico, and another 7 or 8 items that are impossible to get. So this guy keeps saying, no, we will not do that. We will not do that. And the person from the State Department, she was really good, but she said, sir, they're just not going to do it. I said, 100% they're going to do it. So at the end, I said, here's why you're going to do it. Because I have papers right in front of me, and I'm signing. It was a Friday evening, late, like 4 o'clock, 4:30. Biden was sleeping. He was younger then. Biden was at his home in Delaware or wherever they may be, sleeping on top of the boxes that he shouldn't have taken out, right? See, I had the Presidential Records Act. I was allowed to take them out. He wasn't. He was not allowed to take the boxes out, but he sleeps on top. You know, he had his Corvette parked on top of him, right? He thinks the Corvette was such a great car. I wonder who gave him the Corvette, which country gave him the Corvette, right? But I said to him, no, you're going to do it because on Monday morning at 7 o'clock, I'm signing it right now, we're going to put a 25% tariff on every single thing that Mexico sends into this country, including all the cars that you stole out. You know, they stole about 32% of our, did you know that? They stole 32% over the years of our car manufacturing business. And then the unions, the people in the unions are voting for me. But you can't get the heads of, they're so wedded to the Democrats. I don't know, they have wonderful dinners together or something. It's so crazy. But they stole from the United Auto Workers about 32% of our car making. So they're a massive car manufacturer. They send the cars in. So I said on Monday morning, 7 o'clock, you have a 25% tariff on every single thing that you produce coming into this country, which is massive. That's far more than building the wall. And we're talking about, you know, remember Mexico's going to pay for it. Mexico paid for much more than that. There was no legal mechanism to get that, but there is a legal mechanism for them to put their soldiers all over the place and all these other things, which is actually much more money. So I said, it's going to be signed. I'm signing it now. At 7 o'clock, you pay 25% tariff or tax. You could call it whatever you want, very similar. And that takes place 7 o'clock on Monday morning. And you can call your president and tell him or not. Sir, may I be dismissed for just a short while? I would like to make that call. He comes back like in about 4 minutes. Sir, we would be proud to give you 28,000 soldiers. It would be a great honor. And we would be proud to have remain in Mexico. We would be proud. We would love to have. Do you ever see Tijuana? Tijuana had like 200,000 people in Tijuana and nothing on the other side of the wall, because as I built the wall, it became very safe. That wall was great. Wouldn't have been my design choice, but that's what the Border Patrol wanted. They wanted steel. They wanted rail so you could see through. I wanted to put beautiful concrete plank, very nice. But they didn't want that because you do, you know, ideally you want to be able to see through. But they also need it because they have acids that can melt concrete. You believe this? These guys have everything. And steel is much tougher for them. So they wanted steel, they wanted concrete inside, 5,000-pound concrete inside, and then they wanted rebar. I said, I understand, it's tough. You know, you have all these different substances you have to go through. You can cut the steel, but then you can't cut the concrete. And we built them the wall. The panel on top is a no-climb panel. It's a stop climb. In other words, I didn't like it. I said, I don't like the panel on top, visually. They said, so that's an anti-climb provision. That makes it very hard for them to climb over the top. I said, okay, well, we'll put it in. I did everything they wanted, and we built. And wherever we had the wall, it just stopped. But then as you build the wall, it goes like this. They go like water. So it kept going further, and we ended up building a tremendous amount. But and then we were going to put up. This is when I got wise to them. I couldn't believe it because I thought it was just political talk. We built over 500 miles of wall, and I ordered 200 more miles because as you build it, it gets longer. They go around it. And when they came in after the terrible, terrible tragedy of that election, that was a tragedy. That was a tragedy. Look what's happened. So many people are dead now that wouldn't be dead. But you look at that tragedy. But so many, what's happened is we had all of this wall sitting there, very expensive, sitting on the ground, ready to be flipped up. It could have been done in a 3-week period. And they say, we don't want to do it. I said, that's strange. That means they actually were serious that they want to have open borders. That's the first time I really believed it. And now you see the result. Millions and millions of people. Last quarter, 300,000. That's larger than probably almost all of your cities in your state. 300,000 people over actually a 2-month period, less. A 2-month period, 300,000 people poured into our country. And nobody knows, most people have never even heard of the countries from where they came, all over Africa, all over Asia. They come from different parts of Europe. They come from the Middle East, a lot of people coming from the Middle East. And a lot of these people are young, strong men, military age. Isn't that shocking? We had 27,000 people, the last report, 27,000 people coming in from China, between the ages of 20 and 25. That sounds a little suspicious, doesn't it? What they're doing, what this guy has done to this country, you have no idea. It's just horrible. And then he says that I'm bad for democracy. He's bad for democracy for another reason. He's incompetent. And when you're incompetent, you're bad for democracy. You're very bad for democracy. Since 2016, you and I have been in this battle side by side, and it's been a lot of the same people. I recognize the faces so well. Taking on the entire corrupt system in Washington like no one has ever done before. You know, this movement that we're all a part of very proudly, it's your movement more than mine, but this movement is the biggest movement in the history of our country by far.